Hello, everyone. Happy Palm Sunday and happy beginning of Holy Week. If you're able to tune into online to a liturgy today, we have a lot going on in our readings. Significantly, we heard the proclamation of the Passion narrative, which is just so deeply beautiful and has so many different scenes and images going on. But today I just kind of want to briefly comment on the very first reading of the liturgy, which goes along with the blessing of the palms. And that gospel is about Jesus' entrance into Jerusalem, into the city. And in that gospel we heard about people laying down palm branches, as we know, in front of Jesus as he enters the city. And this is, as we know, probably a gesture done for royalty. So when kings would come back from missions, the people would greet them by laying down palms and inviting them. And so we too today invite Jesus, the King of Kings, into our city, into our lives, into our hearts, into our homes. And I think one interesting question we could reflect on as we enter into this Holy Week is this: am I an admirer or am I a follower of Jesus? Because it's one thing to lay down a palm branch very simply on the ground before someone passing by. It's easy to welcome someone in that way. But it's another to open your life and open your heart and truly follow that person. And Jesus wants this for us. Because I'm sure on Palm Sunday there were some people that laid down their palms, and maybe they did just that. They didn't follow him the rest of the way. They didn't follow him to Calvary, certainly. But we don't just follow Jesus to Calvary because we know that the empty tomb is what follows the cross. I think there was in the Office of Readings, which is the Liturgy of the Hours, that is the universal prayer of the Church. There was a beautiful reading this morning from St. Andrew of Crete. And he had this to say kind of about this idea of not just being an admirer, someone who kind of follows at a distance, but someone who really follows closely and deeply. And he says this: "Let us run to accompany him as he hastens towards his passion, and imitate those who met him then, not by covering his path with garments, olive branches, or palms, but by doing all we can to prostrate ourselves before him, by being humble, by trying to live as we should. Then we shall be able to receive the word and all at his coming, and God, who knows no limits, can be within us." So this is a beautiful way, in this week, in this Holy Week, how are we being called to not just admire God, not just admire the things we do as a church, but really and truly open up our lives and our hearts before him, praying in a new way that we haven't prayed before, even if it's from a physical distance. How are we being called to truly open up our lives? Because God just doesn't want us to be at a distance, to just admire and let him pass by. But he truly wants us to sacrifice and to follow him in a deep way. So that's the thought for this day. God's blessings and prayers upon you. May we truly give over our lives and our hearts to God this week, so that we can truly come to celebrate the eternal life and the joy of eternal life come Easter. God bless.